Hey guys, in this After Effects tutorial I'll show you how to use drop shadows with type in a creative way. Let's start glamorous with some glow. My choice of type is Futura Bold, size 155 pixels and a bright orange color. Type in whatever you want. Next we duplicate the type layer and add a drop shadow. We change the shadow color to a very bright yellow. The direction doesn't matter as the distance is 0. We set the softness to 65 though and click shadow only. As you can see, the higher the softness, the more extended is the yellow glow. We leave it at 65 for now. We duplicate the layer and move it below the orange type in the layer hierarchy. And change the shadow color into a burning red. Then we add turbulent displays. Reduce the amount to 35 and the size to 25. We raise the complexity to 2.4. And animate the evolution. We set a keyframe by clicking on that stopwatch, then move to the end of the timeline and insert 2. The edges of the glow are moving now, and somehow breathing and pumping. And by the way, if you increase the drop shadow opacity of the top layer, the intensity and brightness of the glow increases. That's how to create a glow with drop shadow. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you like what you see. That would make me very happy. Let's create some washout graffiti style type. In this case I use a pic of a concrete wall as background which I color corrected. We change the type color into a dark blue, and again write whatever you want. Okay. We duplicate the layer and add a drop shadow. Change the shadow color into white. Increase the distance to around 35 and the softness to around 88. And click shadow only. This will be the Luma mask for our blue type, so we set the washed out type layer to take washed out type 2 as Luma matte. As you can see, the type already disappears partly. To give it a bit more texture, we add scatter. The higher the amount, the more texture it gets. We'll leave it at around 33 for now. And maybe reduce the shadow distance a little. Oh, why not give it more texture? Play around guys until you personally like it. We duplicate the top layer then, make it visible and change the shadow color into a dark blue. Let's play around with the shadow direction, the density and the softness a little bit. More scatter amount. Hey Creative Cloud, 10 updates, yes. Now to give the blue background shape a bit more randomness, we add turbulent displays. Change the displacement into cross displacement. Reduce the amount to 19, raise the complexity and reduce the size. Again, play around until you like it. Finally, by increasing the shadow opacity of the top layer, the type will be more readable. That's how I use the drop shadow for some washed out graffiti style type. Now this is my favorite one. Let's create some type with a handmade touch. We change the font color into a bright blue. Center it a little and duplicate it. Now we select the bottom type layer and add drop shadow. We pick the font color for the shadow color and raise the distance to around 25 and the softness to around 87. And click shadow only. Then we add some Venetian blinds and set the direction to -135 degrees. And the transition completion to around 66. Let's set the opacity of the shadow to 100%. And maybe reduce the softness a little. And adjust the distance. Guys, play around until you like it. To get that hand-drawn feel, we add roughen edges. Decrease the border to around 0.7 and raise the complexity to 10. Let's reduce the scale a little and the width of the Venetian blinds. We animate the evolution for some movement by setting a keyframe at 0 and let it rotate one time until the end. Finally, we copy the roughen edges effect and paste it in the effects window of the upper layer. Maybe we increase the border a little. That's it, handmade type. Which of the three is your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching this tutorial. Please give it a thumbs up, subscribe and hit that notification bell. And you know that sharing is caring. I'd love to know how that tutorial inspired your work. Add the link in the comments below or tag me on Instagram. See you all next time, bye!